I eat it up every single time. Big, huge, ginormous book boyfriend. Nolan is whipped, just like they are kind of meant for each other. Tell me why Chess gave me butterflies in my stomach. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A is back talking about books. Today, it'll just be a very short video about this book, Check and Mate by Hazelwood. I just wanted to do a quick little review about it because it was a quick little fun easy read. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was really wholesome, really cute. It is her first young adult novel, so it is her young adult debut. Honestly, I feel like it's really similar to her other work. It follows the same beats. I do think that because maybe it's not in the science realm, it does feel a little bit different in that way. It does deal with chess. Honestly, if you watch The Queen's Gambit, not to make generalizations about all chess media, but there's a lot of the same beats in there about competition, about being a woman in the chess field and everything like that. Yeah, let's just get into it. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. If you've read one Hazelwood book, you've basically read them all. They are very much similar styles, similar writing. I eat it up every single time, and I honestly think that this was not a bad read. Okay, actually, let's go through the synopsis. It follows a girl named Mallory who grew up being a chess prodigy, to be honest. But when she turned 14, something happened where she quit chess and took chess out of her life. She loved chess, but then decided after she turned 14, she was like, no, I cannot do it anymore. She has some sort of trauma with chess. And it follows Nolan. Nolan is the world champion, and he has been the chess world champion for the last 6 years, and he is 20 years old right now. So Mallory is 18 at this point. She quit chess when she was 14, so she quit chess 4 years ago. I don't know if this timeline is making sense, but yes, this book starts when Nolan is 20 and Mallory is 18. Nolan is so good at chess. He is unbeatable. He is the Simone Biles of chess in that way, because there's something about controversial about Nolan in the way that he is so good at chess that a lot of people say that, oh, maybe he makes chess boring because everyone knows that he's gonna win. He's always won. He's lost every now and then, but in all, he is unbeatable in that way. The beginning of the book starts out when there's a fundraiser, and Mallory's friend from high school, they just graduated or something like that, she asks Mallory, begs Mallory, please, I just need someone to play for this fundraiser. It's a fundraiser, it's for charity. Can you just come and play chess and be in this tournament just to raise some money? And Mallory, after quitting chess since she was 14, has bad memories of chess. She decides, fine, I'll do it for my bestie, I'll do it for Easton, let me go play some chess. She goes to this tournament, sits in front of the chessboard, looks up, and it is Nolan. She knows who Nolan is. Nolan is famous, okay? He's famous in the chess world. He is the #1 chess champion. And they play this little charity game, and she wins. She wins the game. Let me just tell you, after she wins the game, Nolan does not look at her, plays chess. When she wins, when she says checkmate, he looks up at her, stunned, silent, love at first sight type insta-love type beat, which, you know, honestly, I don't hate an insta-love trope. That is how the book starts, okay? So he looks up and he sees it's Mallory. After her beating somebody who is famous for being unbeatable, Mallory becomes known. Someone knocks on her door the next day and recruits Mallory to be a fellow, and she would get paid. And Mallory, mind you, her family life, she's the eldest daughter of 3. Her mom has health issues. Her dad is not alive anymore and is also absent. Before he wasn't alive, he was also absent anyways. And she needs to pay the mortgage. They have bills to pay. They are a lower income household, and she takes this chess fellowship because she thinks that it'll be the best money that she will make that she has in a while when she was working at a car shop. But she thought chess was out of her life. After this one charity tournament, chess finally comes back into her life. She is really talented at chess and does this fellowship, tries to keep it a secret, and the plot goes from there. By the end of the book, I'm just gonna spoil it, it becomes Mallory trying to become a world champion and her trying to deny herself the fact that she loves chess, that she eats, breathes, and sleeps chess. It's her trying to deny all of this and also getting the backstory as to why chess is such a dark spot in Mallory's life. Yeah, that is the synopsis that I will give of the book, and it is a love story between Nolan and Mallory because Nolan gets whipped. Nolan is whipped, just like any Hazelwood book boyfriend. He is whipped. He is a simp for Mallory. And it really is love at first sight in a way. He literally plays chess with her once, looks up and sees that it's Mallory, and he's like, ooh, I love her. I love her. I love this woman. He is obsessed with this woman because of the way that Mallory plays chess. Honestly, even though it is insta-love, I ate it up. I loved this insta-love because it's an insta-love. Like, it feels so justified. He likes her and is obsessed with her in a way because of the way that she plays chess. And they're super compatible. For some reason, I'm like, wait, why? If you really think about it, maybe they don't have that much in common. I don't know, do they? But they are kind of meant for each other. I'm not gonna lie, because really, it's insta-love, but I could see it in Nolan's head because he's a winner all the time. He just wins. Chess has become boring. All he does is play chess, win grants, and win prizes, and uses the prizes to live his life. He literally just plays games of chess so that he can live his life. That's like his job. His job is playing chess. His job is being a world champion, and it's become easy for him until Mallory. Mallory challenges him, and Mallory also makes chess fun. Mallory makes chess unpredictable for him, and in that way, I was like, wait, he kind of is justified for having this insta-love. After playing this game, after seeing how beautifully she played chess, I loved it. And tell me why. I don't really play chess. I know how to play, but I'm not good in any way. Tell me why. This is not the most perfect book in the world, but I really did not hate it. I'll get into the third act and like the things that I disliked about it, but I'm gonna get into the things that I liked. This is all the stuff that I liked right now. I loved, even though it is like cliche or whatever, I loved the insta-love. I feel like it was so justified. I honestly really love this couple, and I love that it's chess. Okay, it is chess. Tell me why chess gave me butterflies. Tell me why chess gave me butterflies in my stomach. They're literally talking about chess, and I'm like, screaming to myself about chess. Not to be a cliche, being like, oh, chess is so nerdy, blah, blah, blah. You can love whatever you like, but me personally, I don't play chess. I don't know much about chess. And they're talking about chess in this book a lot, and like chess positions and types of gambits and whatever. I don't know shit about that. And they're talking about it, and I'm like, ooh, this is cute. Like, so cute. I ate it up. I honestly, really like Ali Hazelwood better as a young adult author, this being a young adult book, rather than an adult author. And let me tell you why, is because I think a lot of the issues that I've had with other Ali Hazelwood books is that the people in her books don't act their age. They have a lot of miscommunications, and they act kind of immature sometimes. Not in all her books. I think especially in Love Theoretically, they were the least immature couple. The Love Hypothesis, why are they grown-ass people doing a fake dating? Like, whatever. It was so cute anyway. I love the book. If you really think about it, the people in Ali Hazelwood books don't really act their age. This book, being a young adult book, being about an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old, they act at their age. And a lot of the things that happen in here are honestly really justified. I will get into the things that I disliked about it and kind of annoyed me towards the end of this video, but I think as a young adult author, Ali Hazelwood works better. So I really like that she took this turn in her career. I saw in her Goodreads that she's gonna come out with another book, and it's gonna be Omegaverse. That's crazy. That is crazy, girl, and I'm gonna read it. You know what? I am gonna read it because I'm gonna read anything that this woman writes. Her books are so flawed. You can go watch my other videos that I've read. I've reviewed all of her books. Her books are so flawed, but either way, whether I like it or I hate it, I have so much fun with it. And that is the one thing I will get with this book. I will always have fun, and she is one of those authors where I will always pick it up, and I will always read it. The things that I liked about it, let's keep going. I love that you really get a sense of the character from Mallory. She is older sibling. She oozes older sibling, and she feels like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders. Her mom is chronically sick. It talks about income inequality. It talks about friendship, dealing with friendships after high school, feeling like you strayed away from your high school friends. Now they're in college. You feel like maybe their lives had changed so much, whereas you are going in another path. Maybe you become distant. I love that it talks about that. I also think that this is such a change for Ali Hazelwood in the way that the main character has a lot of sex. A lot of her female main characters in Ali Hazelwood books, for example, the Love Hypothesis, she is very coded as demisexual, meaning that she cannot really become intimate with people unless she feels very emotionally connected with them, like really attached to them in that way. I remember that being Olive in the Love Hypothesis. This main character, Mallory, she's the exact opposite. It is Nolan, who is the virgin. He's a verge. okay, in this book, and I loved it. I loved that. I loved how she's kind of flipping a lot of what we see originally in a lot of her other past books, doing a little role reversal in that way. Mallory is super sex positive, and I think it's really fitting for her character too, about how she feels like there's the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she has to focus on her family, take care of her family. She does not have time for a relationship, but she likes having sex, and she likes having intimacy in that way, and feeling connected to people in that way, but obviously in that sense, she's never actually felt super connected because it's all just simple hookups. It's never gone anything deeper. She very much makes it a thing where she doesn't want to get any deeper. Like, her characters are strong in that way, and in this book, I do like the characters. Now, we're going to get into my dislikes, but it's not really a dislike. Honestly, I think you should read this book if you want a good, easy, fun book to read, and you want to kind of turn off your brain. You want to have a good time. You want to get butterflies in your stomach and feel cutesy. I think it's a good book. I do have dislikes of it, obviously. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The one thing I disliked was the pop culture references. I know that this is Ali Hazelwood's writing style. Sometimes the pop culture references, they get too much and they become distracting. And in this book, it was a little distracting. They talked about pop culture things way too much. Sometimes they'd be like, hey, like I recognize that reference. But then sometimes I'm just like, it's getting too much. Like, I just want to read the book. I do not need all of these pop culture references. Either way, I still ate the book up. And then secondly is, I think this could be what I would say is the one thing I disliked about it is also the thing I liked about it. I'll describe why. So the thing that I disliked about it was how the conflict, the third act conflict, I always talk about a third act conflict in my videos. Literally, if you watch my videos, you know I always talk about a third act conflict. The third act conflict is Mallory feeling like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, problems that she created herself. It's her being an infuriating teenager. That is the third act conflict. Mallory being an angsty teenager. And also her sisters. Her sister Sabrina was giving such Nesta vibes from A Court of Thorns and Roses. The issue that I had with this book is that sometimes the characters were so infuriating, but it's also, you can't blame them for that though, because they're so young and they grow from it and they learn from it. This is what I disliked about it, but I also liked about it. It's because this is how people their age act. Mallory's 18 years old. Why do you feel the need to take care of your family, to not communicate with your family, to think that everything that happened in your family and the reason why your family broke up, the reason why your dad was drinking alcohol on this certain night, the reason why your parents broke up, why do you feel like that is your fault? You're basically creating all of your own problems. That is Mallory's whole thing. She feels all of this. It's so annoying because it's so obviously not her fault. And then she, at the third act conflict, if you read the book, she gets mad at Nolan and goes off at Nolan for basically reading her and basically saying it's not your fault for all of the things that happened. It's not your fault for your family breaking up, for your mom leaving your dad, for him having an affair, for him getting drunk one night and dying, or I forget exactly what happens to her dad, but he dies in like a car crash or something. None of that is Mallory's fault. But Mallory, the entire conflict is that she feels like it's her fault. In a way, she cannot see through her own thick head that nobody blames her. Her sisters don't blame her. Her family doesn't blame her. And she thinks that she has to control everybody because of that sense of guilt. She thinks that she's the main character in that way, which I guess in this book she actually is the main character, but she acts like, oh, the main character, where everybody is looking at her like she's the guilty one, when literally no one is looking at her in that way. Why does she feel like this? It's so frustrating, but also so real and makes sense for someone her age going through all of this and being an older sister. I think the characters in that way were strong, and Sabrina. Oh my god, I hated this little girl. And they say some horrible things in this book too. For example, Mallory calls her entire family a bitch. Could you imagine calling your little sister, you're a bitch, Sabrina, you're a bitch, are not grateful for anything that I ever do. Calling her mom a bitch, being an asshole, but she grows from it, which I love. It's just one of those things where it's such an infuriating character flaw and such an infuriating third act conflict, but she's 18. She's 18. She's growing and she's learning, and then she learns from it. That was my one issue, which is honestly a non-issue. I think it honestly works really well for the book, and Props to you, Ali Hazelwood. I loved it. I really did like it. Again, with the Nolan being big, huge, ginormous, that's a thing again, but you're gonna get that in every single one of her books. I also find that during the third act conflict, the parallels between Sabrina, Mallory's little sister, and Mallory are crazy. They act like such teenagers. The thing that I thought was so funny, and it's staring at them in the face, is Sabrina, the younger sister of Mallory, and Mallory yelling at each other. Mallory says something, you don't know me, I didn't ask for any of that, I didn't ask for this fellowship, I didn't ask to be a chess player, I didn't ask to go to this tournament and that tournament, you guys did that, I never asked for any of that. Then, literally within the next page, Mallory is fighting with Sabrina at her house, and Mallory is saying, you know, you are so ungrateful, Sabrina. I have done so much for this family. I busted my ass so that I can get you some roller skates. I busted my ass so that I could pay the bills, so that you can get the stuff that you need for school. I did all of that for you, and you are so ungrateful. And then Sabrina goes, I didn't ask for any of that. I never asked you to do this. I never asked you to do that. You always act like I'm incompetent. I was like, damn. The parallels of this is so... Sister, kettle, meat pot, because they were acting exactly the same. It was so funny. Mal was infuriating, but I ate this up nonetheless. The other thing I didn't like was how Nolan, when they're fighting each other, calls her nuts. Oh, you're acting nuts. He says, Jesus, Mallory, listen, I know you don't like this, and I respect it, but you're starting to sound nuts. I was like, book boyfriend. Don't you ever call a woman nuts. Don't ever call a woman crazy. Not the vibe. He does apologize for it later, but to me, I was like, oh. You're cutting it close, boy. You were cutting it close. But other than that, I liked Nolan as a book boyfriend. He was there for her all the time. I wish we got more of him. That's why I don't think it's like a 5 out of 5 star, oh my god, amazing read. I just wish we got more. It's one of those books that you can turn off your brain, you can read it, you'll have a good time. It's a simpy man, love a simpy man. You will learn about chess, and I do think it's forgettable. I'll forget about it in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then I can reread it again. It's one of those kind of books. It's one of those kind of reads. I didn't hate it. All the characters acted their age, were age appropriate. Plot-wise, it could have been a little better. Is it really realistic that she becomes a world champion within like a year? Not really. I just feel like there could have been more fun with the plot. Swoon-worthy, butterfly in my stomach moments, because I feel like a lot with Ali Hazelwood books, there's so many lines where I'm like screeching in my seat, kicking my feet up in the air and screaming. So many lines where I'm just like, oh my god, she's nursing him back to health, or he's nursing her back to health. Like, there's just so many small scenes that I just feel like there could have been more in here. He's just so supportive, is just so whipped for her off the bat. It's kind of ridiculous, but I just ate it up. I just liked it. I didn't hate this one. I did not hate this one. There are a lot of flaws to the writing, the pop culture references, and this being an Ali Hazelwood book, you're going to get certain things in the writing style. If you read one of her books and the writing style is not for you, you will not like it. Other than that though, I feel like for a young adult book, for a young adult read, it was great. That's all I can really say. Please, please, please let me know your thoughts below if you've read this book, what you thought of it. Did you like it? What did you feel about the characters? Just let me know everything. I love to read them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.